What's up, guitar nuts? It's Pete Thorne. Welcome to the studio. Hey, check it out. From Tech 21, it's the Sansamp PSA 2.0. This is an updated version of their classic PSA rack mount preamp. Now, I did a lot of recording on a Sansamp unit back in the day. And by the day, I mean the early 90s. A lot of tunes that I recorded with this band I was in then, about 50 tunes that we wrote and demoed and recorded, were all done using one of those. So I've got a lot of experience with the sound. It's kind of the original modeler. I mean, although it was all analog, which they take great pride in, I think of it as the original modeling unit, kind of, because it was a way a lot of us back then, at least during that period of time when it got introduced, got recordings done without having to mic up amplifiers. It's got a distinctive kind of warm sound to it and tons of gain on tap and all that, but you can also play real clean and clear with it. You can get Fendery sounds out of it. You can get more like kind of cranked, dirty combo sounds out of it, all kinds of tones. On that track at the beginning of the video, I tried to use a wide gain level, all the way from clean, funky stuff all the way through to almost fuzz sounding tracks. Played a little bit of baritone. I played my guitar with EMGs. I tried to really mix it up. So anyways, this one is in that new pedal housing that they've been using a lot. I did videos for previous other releases that they've put out, like the Paul Landers signature pedal, the Richie Kotzen pedal, all in this very similar housing. So you can see this one's flashing 127 here. This is a MIDI programmable pedal. You can save your presets. If I do this right now, it's going to store that and quit flashing. And then you just got up-down switches here so you can get to your different presets. So I guess it's 128 presets. For all those tracks at the beginning of the video, I ran it direct. I'm running everything direct with the pedal because that's the way I figure most people are going to use it with the internal speaker simulation. Although you can defeat the internal speaker simulation, say you want to use an impulse response or something like that. On the solo I played on the silver EMG loaded guitar. For that I loaded up some impulse responses and defeated the speaker sim. All the other parts are cut with the internal speaker simulation. Alright, so I'm going to solo some of those parts outside the mix so you can hear them, and then I'm also going to play more through the pedal and run you through all the controls and all that good stuff so you can hear what they do. It's the PSA 2.0 from Tech 21. Here we go. So I just cut my first little funky guitar part in the song at the beginning of the video. I'm running my guitar directly into the PSA 2.0, and then I'm coming out of it right into my recording interface. And this is the sound. And it's that sound I remember from this unit, or the similar one that was out back in the day. I just wanted to show you, first of all, if I wanted to save this preset, it's as simple as in this memory location I'm in right now. Do you believe I just hold save? It starts blinking. I hold it again. And now it's in there. And you can see it was blinking before the one, and that meant I'd made changes to the preset, I do believe. And then, it's letting you know that there's been changes made. And hey, do you want to store? It's blinking. And then you store, and then it stops blinking. So it's that simple. Let's take a look at some of the controls on the unit. You got a level here, and that's going to be your overall master. Now, I've got the highs cranked up pretty good, okay? That's this control right here. I find that the unit generally is sort of warm sounding. So I've got the highs like up, not quite all the way, but they're cranked up pretty good around 4 or 5 o'clock or something like that, just to get the clarity that I wanted using the neck pickup on my guitar. So if we rotate that, let's listen. And you'll notice as soon as I change something, this starts blinking to let me know I've modified a program. So it's a little harsh when it's all the way on 10. So just backing it down a little bit gives me the clarity I need. And then you got a low frequency. All right, so I had that just kind of somewhere right around noon. And then you got a drive control here. So you can clean things up or get a little bit more gritty. Not to be confused with gain. There's also a gain control over here.
So 2 ways to get kind of, your distortion and your drive. Then you get these controls here, which back in the day, I didn't really understand exactly what they meant, but now I get it. It's sort of like EQ plus saturation. So these are these 3 controls labeled crunch, punch, and buzz. Crunch is really kind of like the high-end saturation. Punch is the mid-range content and also saturation. And buzz is the low-end content and saturation. So you're going to get both like more lows and also more distortion in the lows when you turn these various controls up. Right, you can hear when I crank this one up, it's definite, that there's a, definite more distortion and more top end happening. Let's listen to the mid-range for a second. It's like a more dramatic version of what an actual Marshall does when you turn up the mids, because you actually get more distortion when you turn up the mid-range EQ. But anyway, and so I was kind of going for almost like a little more broken up Fender sort of sound. So I had the mids only around halfway, little not scooped, because the unit's always got lots of mids to me. But somewhere around there. And then the low frequency control can get pretty woofy if you get it up high. So somewhere around 11 o'clock or noon is where I like it, and that's once again called buzz. That sounds pretty cool right there. Kind of sounds like a broken up combo with an overdrive in front of it or something. If you want to, you can bypass the speaker simulation just by pushing this button right here. And then you'll get that sound, which you don't want. I've dialed up on the channel here a impulse response loader, so I can easily just load up. This is like an open back 212. Let's see what it sounds like. So that's interesting. It's actually got quite a bit less low end than the internal speaker simulation. So I would probably turn up the lows if I was using an IR on the channel here. And then I might turn up this buzz control as well. Let's see what that does. Okay, so now I'm going to bypass those IRs and go back to the analog speaker sim just by pushing that button. Analog cab sim actually sounds better to me than the IR that I've got dialed up right now. So there you have it. So now I'm going to move on and cut some different parts. I'm just having fun with this silly, funky little track here. I'm going to play some cleaner parts and do something in the realm of lead guitars with more gain and stuff like that. Here we go. Thanks for watching my video on the Sansamp PSA 2.0 from Tech 21. Kind of the original modeling, company original modeling pedal. They're still sticking with the analog design, but it's in an updated pedal housing, full MIDI with the 127 or 128, presets that you can store. Defeatable speaker sim. What's not to like? You can check it out down there in the video description below. Click down there, it'll take you to more info about the PSA 2.0. Alright, thanks for watching, you guys. I'm Pete Thorne. Take care. Over and out.